Matthew Levi Kalik. Um, I decided the other day to start vlogging, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna do one vlog a day. I should probably make a separate channel just for my vlogs instead of just my regular YouTube channel because that's lame. I also tend to overtalk a lot. It's what I do. Welcome to my life. I'm a constant overtalker. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, did I choose the specific place in my apartment so that my eyes look fantastic? And the answer is yes. You're welcome. Outside of that, this is going to be my coming out story because I noticed that I posted it on my book MySpace at Instinct the Book on my MySpace channel back in the day, and I think I recorded it under MySpace videos because I was going through my YouTube channel and it's not there, so I'm pretty sure it's gone now. Let's get into it. This is my coming out story. I hope it helps other people, and that's why I want to talk about it. I also need to get back on MySpace today to see what's happening. Um, I'm not even sure where to start. It was a really long time ago. I'm 21 now, and I came out when I was freshman year, so it was 2003. So I was 12 going on 13. I came out when I was 12. And a lot of people say that's young, but that was also almost 10 years ago now. So, yes, 10 years ago, it's extremely young. Now I see a lot of people that age coming out all the time, and I know it was hard for me. I hope it's easier for them nowadays. And outside of that, a lot of people it wasn't nearly as hard as you would think it would be. The reasons I came out were because I came from a small junior high. We only had 13 people in my graduating class, and so I was going to high school, which is much larger. I had like 2,000 people in the entire school for the 4 years. Um, and I was like, this is my time to chance to start over. The no one knows me except for those 13 people I'm continuing on with. So I didn't have to like backtrack and reintroduce myself to people I already knew, if that makes sense. I was able to just start off by saying, I'm Matt. This is the first time I meet you. Hey, I'm gay. That was my plans. It still didn't work out that way. I got there for the first week. People were like, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "No, no, no." And then I got a little group of friends, and they're all like, "We know you're bi, like at the very least, yada yada." So I was finally like, "Okay, I'm bi," and I did think I was bi at that point in my life because I was in a place where I see straight people everywhere, and I assumed that's really the only way to be. This whole term homosexuality was new to me as is, so I assumed that I wanted to be in a relationship with a woman and marry a woman because they're much nicer and kinder and cleaner. And I lived in a country town. All the guys are jerks, not good people. If you think cowboys are sexy, they're just usually not. They're just usually mean. um, and so, but then guys were attractive, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have sex with guys, and then date females, and I guess that's my terms of bisexuality. And then I eventually got a boyfriend and realized that's not what I wanted at all. That I just like girls as friends and I could still have an actual emotional relationship with guys. So I got a boyfriend, and that's when I decided that I was gay. That's also when everyone else at school took notice. I didn't have to really walk around and introduce myself as, hey, I'm Matt, I'm gay. I just walked around holding a guy's hands, and it kind of explained what needed to be said. Um, Eventually, being a small town, kids told their parents that there's a gay kid at school. It was just pretty much me, my boyfriend, and maybe one other senior. And those parents told my parents, who at which point went through my phone and found all my texts and forbid me to ever date a guy, break up with my boyfriend, took away my phone, saying that they're afraid I was going to text guys I like at school, as compared to writing them a note like high schoolers do. uh, the school board got involved. They're very worried about it, saying that I wasn't allowed to be gay while at school, talk about gay things or identify myself that way. They said it was for fear of my safety because supposedly there's a kid who was murdered about 6 years prior to that for being gay. And I told them no. I said I was going to be as gay as I wanted to be, and if I died because of someone else's prejudice, then I hope I die a martyr, and that maybe people would finally stop skirting around the issue and live up to themselves and look at what's wrong with society and start to fix it. If I die, it's not my fault for being who I am. It's everyone else's fault for not being able to accept that. And I look back on that, and now I realize that sounded pretty dead fast as a 13-year-old to be willing to die um, for something you believe in. And after that, it was all just a lot easier. I mean, people were extremely accepting, way more so than they weren't accepting. I did get death threats. I had people throwing rocks at my head, threatening to bring guns to school. There's one guy who I had to ride the bus home with every single day who would just sit behind me and talk the entire ride home about how he was going to get a group of his friends together and they were going to get beer and drink and then tie me to the back of his pickup truck on the farm, like his dad's truck or whatever, and drag me across the gravel until I was dead. And I wouldn't fight back, but I would emotionally be like, okay, like go ahead and do that. I wouldn't say taunting's good. Um, if you're not ready to come out, then don't. I always say there's no time like the present, and there's always gonna be hard times. It's gonna be hard for the first year or 2 years. There's no way around that. It's going to be hard, and that's okay. You have to decide. I mean, if your life is legitimately at risk, say your parents are extremely homophobic and they're going to kick you out, don't do it. Maybe tell a couple personal friends because that will help you get it off your chest. If you're afraid of losing friends, they're just friends. They come and go. If they can't handle you as who you are as a person deep inside yourself, then they're not really your friends. Your friends are people who will be there for you, and they're people who understand who you are personally. So if they don't know you, they're not your friends yet. And then if you come out to them and then they actually finally get to meet you and they don't like that person, then choose not to be friends with those people. Go make friends with people who like you for who you are. And it's healthier. I want people to help each other. Outside of that, GSA started the same year. With the senior, he graduated, so I took over and I made it the rest of my high school career to make sure that there was more of a gay presence in my school, that I was going out of town to go to different places to learn about more gay activism things, doing marches, doing different things. It's really important to get involved into the community, I think. In my personal life, it's a whole other thing. My parents, hardcore Christian, did not like it at all, sent me to ex-gay therapies. I was sitting there making 3-hour trips 2 times a week, going to counseling, doing group sessions, individual sessions, and family sessions at a Christian ministry group, trying to de-gayify me, which didn't work at all. I probably lost my religion for that reason. I used to be Christian. I don't. I'm not anymore. That was the time where I started looking at the faith, not from the aspect of they don't like homosexuality, but I really started reading the whole Bible. I read the Book of Mormon. I read the Quran. I went through a lot of different religions and a lot of different things, just looking into all of them about like what is this religion aspect, and all together that made me an atheist. The more you know, the more you choose your own way, I guess. And I'm not saying any religion's bad. I'm just saying it wasn't for me, and I chose not to go that direction. Eventually, my parents figured out it wasn't going to work, and it was extremely expensive to try to turn me straight. And even talking to my counselors, he's like, I'm like, are you gay now? He's like, well, I'm an apprentice right now. I've been in this program for 7 years, and I'm finally being able to harness my desires. I don't really desire to be with guys anymore, but I want to consider myself straight. I'm like, so for 7 years, you sat in therapy for 7 years to make yourself this person that you think you should be, and you're still not straight. Like, and he doesn't see a problem with that. And I see a massive problem with that. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money trying to please this outside world that thinks you're not good enough to be yourself. And I think that's bullshit. And I think we need to change that as a society. it's, I mean, I hate relating it back to civil rights, but I feel like I have to. Like if there was an ex-black therapy, how many people like would go through that? We said we can bleach your skin for the next 7 years, and you might kind of look sort of white. And you have to do this because it's the only way that we're going to accept you. It would be no one would ever have done that in their right minds. No one would have done that. So I don't understand why we even play with the ideas today. Um, so you can do it. If you need help, feel free to message me here on YouTube. Um, find me on Twitter. Uh, contact me if you need help. Really. Uh, outside of that, just really you need to figure out what's best for you. I would say come out. It's just time to come out. The more people who do it, the more people are allowed to. I came out. 10 more people came out. There was a good amount of gay kids out after my school after I made it apparent that it's okay to be gay. And honestly, the only person who knows what is best is you. But just know there's other people out there. I don't want to say it gets better. It doesn't always get better. It doesn't mean you should go kill yourself. A lot of times it gets harder. I'm 21 now, and shit's hard. It's so much harder than when I was in high school. If high school is the biggest problem in your life right now, you're gonna look back on it in 10 years and be like, oh my god, that was just high school. So it doesn't necessarily get better, it gets different. How about that? We're gonna hashtag that. It gets different. And that was the short version of my coming out story. I don't know how I did that all under 5 minutes last time. We're now at 11. I'm just a talker. Okay. Well, I love you. Subscribe, like, comment, view. Go through my other videos. Don't feel afraid to click my ads. I don't even know if I'm legally allowed to say that, but I get paid if you click my ads. So the little ad that pops up takes 5 seconds to click it, and it'll make me love you forever. I don't know who you are, but I love you. Okay, bye.